John Terry is gone, disappeared from the face of the earth. But cops may be closing in on what happened.
My gut tells me it's going to be a homicide case. I really believe that. Things just don't add up for him just to fall off the face of the earth like he did.
Police are anxiously awaiting DNA test results from his car and his blood-spattered front door. One theory? The culprit is someone connected with selling him a bed.
What would cause someone to kill someone because they bought a bed? So it's interesting that he made the Facebook post in the first place and then there's no bed.
Not only that, investigator Stoll says what was found in John Terry's car suggests that there may be more than just one suspect.
That is a possibility. 2 suspects, and you have a third one driving another vehicle, following along, because whoever drove John's Jeep had to get a ride at some point to go home.
And cops have probed deeper into that chilling look-alike picture from Mexico.
The family was able to get in touch with some distant friends that were able to obtain better photographs of the man.
Unfortunately, those photos led to a dead end.
We were able to confirm by looking at it that that was not John.
And now police have a short list of people they want to talk to.
We're still looking at people that he was communicating with at that time.
And close to the top, John Terry's ex-wife, Rachel. Rachel on the list?
Yes.
Raising questions? John's cell phone. Cops claim his records show John didn't talk to his ex-wife much, but that changed the final weeks leading up to his disappearance.
And we start seeing 10 minutes, 11 minutes, 15 minutes, and in between those we're seeing 1 hour. And there were 2 phone calls that were at least an hour or just under an hour. That's something we're going to be asking, because that is a possibility that suddenly something's gone wrong in her life or his life and they're having a conversation about it.
To be clear, Rachel has not been named as a suspect or person of interest in this case, and cops may not be ready to interview her just yet. But she agreed to talk to Crime Watch Daily in a first-time exclusive interview for television.
Hey, Rachel.
Hi.
Jason Mattera, nice to meet you. Thanks for doing this interview.
And yes, we asked her about those long phone calls she had with John shortly before he disappeared.
According to investigators, they say, leading up to John's disappearance, that there was an unusually high volume of calls between you and him. Why the high volume of calls?
I mean, it's been 2.5 years, so I don't really recall, but I know some of those were probably between me and my children. You know, they would ask him, can I talk, can I call mom?
Again, we approach this interview as we believe any detective might down the road, and that means we put it all on the table.
I just want to ask you flat out, you, Rachel, had nothing to do with John Terry's disappearance.
Absolutely not.
Do you know who did?
I have absolutely no clue. I wish I did.
So let's say one of the working theories is who stands to benefit? And say, well, John's out of the picture, you get full custody of the kids, you no longer have to pay child support, you no longer have to drive an hour and a half to drop them off, pick them up. How would you respond?
I would respond by saying that's a ridiculous theory. Who kills somebody over an hour and a half drive to pick up their kids from their dad who they love? And who kills somebody over $200 a month? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I would never do something so ridiculous.
Rachel remembers the last time she saw John.
He seemed normal.
In good spirits?
Nothing suspicious, nothing strange. Came out from work, gave the boys a hug and a kiss, told them that they'd be back on Sunday, and he didn't, seem any different.
And one theory Rachel heard about is unlike anything we've ever heard from anyone, including family, friends, or police.
Somebody had said something about, finding meth or something in his house. And so Sometimes I wonder, did he get involved with somebody with that drug? Did he owe him money? That's really the only thing I can think of.
Rachel hopes this interview will help solve the mystery surrounding her missing ex and the father of her 2 young sons.
It's still sad, I hate to think of anything that he may have gone through. I hate thinking that that we may never see him again. I think back on, all the years, and it's just hard to think that he may not be here anymore.
And so now Rachel Terry and a few other people will soon face detectives with questions of their own. And maybe some questions they never saw coming if what Investigator Stoll says is any indication.
There will be a lot more interviews. We do have some other things that are at the lab that, right now I'm going to keep those under wraps. But it's there, and I strongly believe that when the results come in, we will likely narrow this down substantially.
And Investigator April Stoll? Well, you can always find her in the same place from where she hopes to eventually crack this case. In the evidence room.
Finding John, bringing him home, that needs to be done.
Now it's time for you at home to help solve this case. At the time of his disappearance, John Terry was 30 years old and had a full beard. If you know anything about his disappearance or saw him the night he vanished, please contact the Hill County Sheriff's Office at 1-254-582-5313.